It's cool. It's cool to hear this from a literal girl boss drone pilot. Yes. Also, Kamala Harris is to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight. This could be an adversarial interview with a very powerful person that gets to the heart of the Dems base deep disgust with their party and the failures that led here. But he's probably just going to ask her stuff like, now is bacon really a spice? Come on now, while she cackles maniacally. He's just a late night host. What do you expect? Well, this is the one and only interview she has done since losing the presidential election. Do I wish she was getting interviewed by 1955 Edward R. Murrow? Sure. But this is who she chose, and we play the hand we are dealt. All right, I'm done with the Bassem Youssef thing. I want to listen to Elissa Slotkin now. The key line of the third paragraph. What is this? What is... I owe it to my state to make it clear where I stand. Had I made it back for the vote yesterday, I would have voted yes to block offensive weapons to Israel based on my concerns over lack of food and medicine getting to civilians in Gaza. Oh, great. Thank you, Elissa Slotkin. Oops, you couldn't make it to that vote, though, unfortunately. But if she did, she would have voted so hard. She would have voted so hard. It's just, I just missed it.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is a former Michigan congresswoman who served 3 tours in Iraq as a CIA analyst and was recently elected to the United States Senate. Please welcome Senator Elissa Slotkin. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Lots to talk about. But before we get into it, I learned something interesting, that your family's farm was responsible for the Ballpark Franks recipe. Ballpark Franks?
Company. Yeah.
They plump when you cook them.
Yeah.
Dung, 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 dung. Ballpark Franks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Were you allowed to eat any other?
I like that Colbert is, really calling to task these powerful elites that are taking his position away because of the interest that they have in, the interest that they have in like moving in a right-wing direction. And in an effort to do so, he has decided to talk to a former CIA analyst and yet again, one of the more conservative congresspersons in the Senate. Fantastic. Thank you, Colbert. Yeah, tonight is Kamala Harris. It's great.
Yes, we were allowed to eat other hot dogs because we helped start Nathan's Hot Dogs, so a different type of hot dog.
Wow.
New York audience usually.
So this is a hot dog empire.
Yes,
you came from.
So
just hot dogs or all cased meats?
Other cased meats and other
sausages,
products
brats?
and other things. No, not brats, not brats.
Okay, that's Wisconsin.
Right.
Exactly.
But yeah, my great grandfather emigrated here through Ellis Island and started a small meat company and became a big meat company.
Oh. Well,
we're very proud.
You even hosted a Senate hot dog party for National Hot Dog Day.
I did.
Which is what day?
It's like the third.
Oh my God. Breaking Points really dropped the ball by not asking Senator Slotkin about her opinions on hot dogs versus sandwiches. Ha ha ha. In January 2024, she signed a letter criticizing South Africa's genocide case against Israel, calling it grossly unfounded. She clearly went on Colbert to do a cleanup job, but this comment section actually introduced me to the fantastic Breaking Points interview, which I never would have seen otherwise. Nice job. Shame Slotkin wasn't asked about hot dogs on Breaking Points. She could have shown that bold energy of hers. Amazing. The fact that this is one day later than after her train wreck interview on Breaking Points is such a jarringly clear example of why legacy media has record low trust, and you'll still get consultants paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to go and ponder with each other. Why is trust in our institutions failing, and what can we do about it? Shameless. These guys are not HasanAbi heads. These are YouTube commenters. This is crazy. I don't even know if I'm like that interested in what she has to say. Did she get asked about Israel or not?
You said in your intro, I go into the field. And so my job was to understand the terrorist groups and the militias that were shooting at U.S. forces and plotting against the U.S. homeland.
Okay.
So who are their leaders? How do they move money? How do they communicate? What's the hierarchy so that we can make sure they don't attack us, right?
Did you wear disguise?
I did not. I carried a weapon, but I actually, in my first tour in Iraq, bunked with a woman who was in charge of disguises and kind of kitting out different outfits so that a woman in full cover could have like a place for her weapon. It was just, she was like a CIA seamstress, and it was a really very cool job.
When you were doing this kind of work, when you were over there in country, did senators and congresspeople come over and you would have to like tour them around and stuff?
Actually, including some of them that are still there that I serve with now.
Wow, so you were the person saying...
I was like the baby analyst.
You'd meet them at the airport and bring them like, wow.
And give them the update on the field update on what was going on.
So what did they do that you will never do? Because
Senator Slotkin missed the vote on banning arms sales to Israel yesterday. Instead, she went on the Colbert Show where she called for aid to Gaza.
People have been losing for years, right? But to me, the responsibility...
I don't know. Are people drones? I feel like they are, right? There's no like unified front where people can just like gather information. So I guess like when they hear someone like her say like, oh, we really got to take care of the Gazan children, they go, oh, that's great. I'll remember that. She's a positive force. They don't know her background. They don't know her actual opinions. They don't know that she has been in direct opposition to any sort of like meaningful ceasefire. I mean, she literally did not. She skipped out on the vote to deny weapons transfers to Israel because she was doing this a bullshit puff piece.
To get humanitarian aid in is not an open question. We know what that answer is. And just this, literally today, we put out, like, you know, Michigan is a state that has the largest Arab and Muslim American population in the country, a very large Jewish population. A ton of people feel this at a very visceral, personal, family level. And for the first time in the past week, I had a rabbi and a Muslim leader come to me and say, we want to do something together. We will pay for all of it. We'll buy all the formula, baby formula, and all the clean water. Please, can we just green light that aid always getting in, no matter what's going on with negotiations, no matter what's happening? We put that out, pushed it with Rubio today, Secretary Rubio. But that to me is like people of many different faiths understand that humanitarian aid getting into children is an American value, a Jewish value, and a Muslim value. So that to me is, so it's a requirement.
ultimately...
It's cool to hear this from a literal girl boss drone pilot, yes. Also, Kamala Harris is to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight. This could be an adversarial interview with a very powerful person that gets to the heart of the Dems base deep disgust with their party and the failures that led here. But he's probably just going to ask her stuff like, now is bacon really a spice? Come on now, while she cackles maniacally. He's just a late night host. What do you expect? Well, this is the one and only interview she has done since losing the presidential election. Do I wish she was getting interviewed by 1955 Edward R. Murrow? Sure. But this is who she chose, and we play the hand we are dealt. This was the other relevant clip from the Colbert interview. Oh, is this where she says they're corn-fed?
Minded people out there like to think that some of the trouble the United States has is because of the what they call the deep state.
Right.
Okay, and as a former...
Dude, Colbert Report, like Stephen Colbert literally doing PR for the fucking deep state is, or not the deep state, but like the CIA is insane. Like, what is happening, dude? What is going on? Of course nobody listens to this shit anymore. What are we doing?
Is there a deep state? What do they mean by deep state?
Yeah, I wish people could understand that a lot of the guys that I serve with, guys and gals at the CIA or at the Pentagon where I served, first of all, a lot of them are former military. So, you know, if you can't be like pro-military and then...
Why is she doing this media campaign? She's hailed as like the moderate champion of the future Democrats. That's why. She is seen as the _1 candidate for like the future direction of the party. If the Democratic Party had its way, and there wasn't this like pesky democratic process involved, okay? They would have a million Elissa Slotkins, like former CIA girl bosses who can at least like speak, you know what I mean? Who can like speak at least somewhat convincingly. That's it. It's that's the reason why they're propping her up. They're propping her up as like the girl boss that will lead the Democratic Party in the new direction. Why? Because she's younger and she is at least like somewhat telegenic. They are terrified of more Zorons propping up left and right. They do not want that shit. They do not want that at all.
anti-intelligence community and deep state. But a lot of the guys are also like wearing mom jeans and white sneakers on the weekends. Like, these are good, corn-fed people who just want to help their country.
Eating ballpark franks.
Well, eating their hot dogs or doing whatever. And this idea that there's some network of people that are running the world, it doesn't really match reality. And these people in the dead of night are doing things to protect this country and make sure things don't blow up here. And for me, you know, the way...
Yeah, we had to do a coup in Chile. Otherwise, things would blow up here, okay? You don't understand. You don't understand. We have to topple people voting for socialist candidates and democratic socialist candidates, or even social democratic candidates in countries that we have grand designs for. Otherwise, we would blow up. We would literally kill ourselves if we don't topple yet another country, okay?
That Trump is going after them is just, first of all, it's nasty. Second of all, it's completely counter.
She's like, we had...